Hello, everyone. Hello. First, let me start with this. I not too long ago, I had an opportunity to call my senators in Washington, um, Senator Warnock, Warnock, Reverend Senator. Which one comes first? Reverend Senator Raphael Warnock, and uh, and John Alseth today to register my thought on what is happening to our neighbors in Minnesota and what I thought is an important step, at least from my vantage point at this point, to do. So I left my notes, um, and Reverend Warnock voicemail was full. He could not take, but John upset cool. So I have one more call to make tomorrow, and I'm urging all of you to do the same. If peace and peace means wealth for you to you, that's what. And if you feel helpless, this is what you can do without being out because you can't fly into Minnesota or you don't want to fly into Minnesota, whatever it is. But that's your best bet. We're gonna take the other route. Okay. That said, I wanted to talk about a few things before I play this video. This video, it is the response to the sonnet yesterday. Uh, the state of the nation. The nation will be the Republic of Liberia, a nation founded in 1822, supposed to be, although there were natives living there. So the story got two sides, and I'd like to talk about it both sides of the story. It's like American Indian here, where some of them are being kidnapped also. Um, but and then the people settled there in 1822, got her independence. In 1847, here we go. Now, we for 130 plus years, we have one party system rule, like the what do you call it, the two-wing party here in America. America had a two-wing party. And then 1979, we had a coup in 1980, and then we decided to have a more than one party, multi-system political party. We went to war, and the war started that they were moving the men had brought in the coup, and according to the top process, he was a tyrant or dictator. And although when he came, he said, um, "We're taking these people out because of failure to answer to the masses in a timely manner." Another one was nepotism. The other one was rampant corruption. Then the next group was worse. We went to war. They started with coming to remove Doe. Um, then it changed over to not just Doe, from one rebel group split up to two rebel group, start splitting, and for 14 years, even after Doe were killed in the first 9 months, it continues. Since then, we have not gotten justice. Those of us who suffered the war, those of us who left, those of us who were forced to flee, there have been no justice. Government after government is the same. Since the so-called peace interception, we have what, two, three, four elections, and we still have 90% unemployment. Although it's a small country with less than $1 billion budget, but our lawmakers make more money than the lawmakers in America. Our speaker get more money paid than the speaker of the United States with $1 trillion budget. Mm? So yesterday, every year, like in the United States, the State of the Union, we had in America, it's the State of the Union. In Liberia, we have the State of the Nation. And so yesterday we had the State of the Nation, which is a constitutional requirement for the president to come. I think it's every third Monday in the, January, to come and tell the people, the Senate who represent, the legislature who represents the people, come to tell them what he has done and what he will be doing, and put out his agenda, explain to the people this agenda, and then come back every year to tell the people how this agenda have been met. So we're going to listen up where one of the opposition is thinking here in this respect. After listening to them and coming home, what is his response to everything that he said. Now, what I'm going to talk about that really close to my heart, I hear everything else. It is the brutality against women and children that continue in the country. During the war, women were forced to be vessels, to be bodies that did not have any control over themselves. They were bodies that just needed to be used and discarded. Okay, young women were molested, were raped. Okay, the records are out there. I'm not just saying it. All right, and somebody will say, you keep talking negative about the country, you don't talk good thing about the country. That is not the point. The point is we cannot hide where we have been. We cannot look away after many people have been impacted, after lives have been impacted, after people have been scarred, okay, after trauma had taken over people's lives, and you don't expect answers and you want us to sweep it under the rug. We cannot do that. That does not heal a nation. To heal, we must first acknowledge, and there must be atonement for our sins, for people who wrong us. There must be acknowledgement when you wrong people. Okay. And in that, and a lot of people, 250,000 people lost their lives. So we can make promises only because we want to be president. And then when the time comes, we say nothing. We just continue with what we've done before, with those who came before us did, or we condemn because of these things. So here, what I'm gonna do tonight, I'm gonna go ahead and play this, and then the number is out there. If you want to call, you called. I'd like to hear from you, Oliver, to hear from you and see what your thoughts are. Those of us in the diaspora. Okay, listen. I'm a believer of holding my nation up. I believe patriotism is supporting your country at all times and supporting your government when it deserves it. That's my belief system. When the government does right, I will speak to that. I am going to make some posts here from Taiwan way that I saw today, and I thought they were powerful. Um, and I think I'm going to also talk about uh, what's his name? Amara Conan did a podcast. He wrote and he did a podcast. I was more concerned about credibility. When you talk about Gafuan, my friend and brother, the guy at the airport, his friend and brother, it does not, as a senator speaking, it does not show objectivity. If you ask me, as a professional person, you're speaking to a place that you worked before, and right now you're representing us. Stay with the issue. We don't want to know if that's your brother or that your uncle or that's your auntie. We want to hear from you where you are exercising objectivity. That's what we want. How do I know you're saying what you're saying? Because that's your friend. Because all of you know the loophole, you know where you're there, you know how you're scam people. How do we know that that's not a coded word? So anyway, I'm gonna play this. This is Alexander Cummings, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Okay. Today, somehow some of the I think it's the internet were in and out. But I want to play that and we're going to talk about it. I'm waiting for Steve to come and we're going to have a conversation. So I'm going to play this and I'm going to play a portion of Amara Collins on a video. So let's listen up.
My fellow Liberians, mothers in the markets, students in the back rows, farmers in the restaurants, teachers in overcrowded classrooms, nurses in understaffed clinics, and workers across our 15 counties. Our nation stands at a decisive crossroads. 20 years after the end of our civil wars and 2 years into this administration, we are being told the story of recovery. President Boyka assures the nation that our country is in a better state than it was a year ago. I respect the president. He is my friend, and I know he loves Liberia. But as a Liberian who listens to the everyday cries of our people and walk our communities, I must ask the question that every struggling family is asking. Recovery for whom? Progress for who? Results where? Today, I will not only critique the government, but I will offer a people-focused and people-centered set of alternatives to the challenges facing our country. The president yesterday quoted economic growth and lower inflation. But let's be clear, macroeconomic stability is not the same as microeconomic survival. The Global Hunger Index places Liberia near the bottom of the world. 112 out of 123 countries. This is not just a statistic. It means 2 in every 5 Liberians do not eat sufficiently. 2 in every 5 Liberians do not eat sufficiently. It means our children's futures are being cut short by stunted growth. As people say in the streets, that rose will eat, you cannot cook quota, and you cannot feed a child a blueprint. The state of our nation must be measured by the fullness of the stomach, the safety of our communities, and the dignity of work. The president proudly announced a US $1.2 billion budget, the highest in our history. But a budget is not just a planning document. More importantly, it is a moral document. While the government celebrates these numbers, Liberia remains the 9th poorest nation on earth. The 9th poorest nation on earth. Over 2.5 million of our brothers and sisters cannot meet their basic needs. And in rural Liberia, the poverty rate is a staggering 80%. Where is the proof that this record budget is improving lives. While public hospitals lack gloves and schools lack chalk, the legislature's budget has increased to over 51 million United States dollars. And the National Security Agency's budget has ballooned by 50% to 22 million United States dollars. We are supposed to receive windfalls, including the 200 million ArcelorMittal signature bonus. Yet, these resources are being absorbed into a bloated budget to fund the luxury lifestyles of the political class. Here's the people's alternative to the budget. First, cap wasteful spending. We must cap the budget of the legislature and the executive. We must cap the budget of the legislature and the executive, ending the era of big cars, extravagant travel, amongst many other wasteful spending. We must fund the front line, shift resources to health, to education, and the security personnel, the police, the military, who actually keep us safe. Transparency. We need county-level reporting of the budget. If a budget cannot be explained to a market woman, it was not written for her. Next, farmers. Farmers must be first. Agriculture as the engine. The president calls agriculture the heart of the arrest agenda. But you cannot claim agriculture is the heart while you slash its funding. Here's the people's alternative for our farmers. We must meet the international commitment to allocate 10% of our national budget to agriculture. Processing, not just planting. We must use windfalls to build processing plants, rice milling, cassava processing, and fisheries cold storage, so farmers move from hand to mouth to business for profit. Farmers move from hand to mouth to business for profit. Feeder roads. These are the economic lifelines that connect farms to markets. Without them, harvest simply rots in the fields, and we need to invest significantly more in farm to market roads. Next, business and women, dignity and protection. Our Liberian women own 55% of small businesses, yet they are shut out of the banks and ignored by the system. But their struggle is not just economic. It is a struggle for safety and for dignity. Here's the people alternative for women. We need a national micro-loan scheme. We propose a dedicated credit and guarantee scheme specifically for market women and small Liberian businesses. Justice for women and girls. We cannot talk about women's first while the scourge of rape and sexual abuse haunts our communities. Covering. When our women and girls are safe and prosperous, Liberia grows from the bottom up. Youth first, from hustle to careers. From hustle to careers. A temporary job is not a future. Our youth are not lazy. They are blocked by lack of opportunity. Blocked by lack of opportunity. Here's the opportunity for our youth. A national youth service program. Engage graduates, assistant teachers, healthcare workers, other professions, among many, many others, providing them with a salary, training, and a sense of purpose. We need a skills revolution. We need to expand TVET and apprenticeships county by county, so our young people have the technical skills to build our infrastructure. Decentralization, bringing government to people. I strongly support decentralization, but passing a law is not enough. Real decentralization means counties can plan and develop without begging Monrovia for every cent. Yes, people's alternative on decentralization. Decentralized money, not just titles. Counties must have predictable and audited development financing. We must strengthen county service centers. Basic services, permits, documents, deeds, licenses must be available in every county hub so that citizens do not have to spend their last savings traveling to Monrovia. Local governance. We must empower local leaders to prioritize their own feeder roads, their own schools and clinics, ensuring that the government is felt in villages and not just on Capitol Hill. Energy and infrastructure, powering production. A nation cannot develop in darkness. Most Liberians still live without reliable electricity, and rural Liberia still remains, unfortunately, largely in the dark. Yes, the people's alternative on energy. We need mini grids and solars to be installed and implemented immediately. We cannot wait on the central grid. We must deploy community solar and off-grid solutions for clinics and schools immediately. Power for production. Energy must be prioritized for agro-processing and small manufacturing to create jobs and not just to light up homes, although lighting homes is also important. Corruption. Corruption must go beyond indictments to justice. The president cited 11 indictments, but 2 convictions in 2 years is not the anti-corruption revolution Liberia needs. Corruption is the reason that there is no medicine in clinics, no supply in schools, among many other dire consequences. Here's the people's alternative on accountability. We special end the delay tactics that allow impunity to survive. Asset recovery. Stolen public money must be recovered and reinvested into water systems, schools, roads, and other productive investments that benefit the Liberian people directly. No protected species. Entire institutions must be fully autonomous, ensuring that no one is protected by friendship. I've just shared a summary of some alternatives we propose to the many challenges facing our country. But let me conclude as follows. The time for action is now. The president ended his address by saying leadership is service. I agree. Leadership is also the delivery. If the economy is growing, the people should feel it. People should feel it. If the government is working, hunger should be falling. Liberia has the land, the resources, and most importantly, Liberia has the talent. What we have lacked produces measurable results. This is what we offer. I see the resilience of the market woman who wakes up at 4 a.m. I see the brilliance of the student studying by candlelight. I see the farmer walking miles to a market road. You, among many others, represent the strength of Liberia. The people's alternative is not just a critique. It is a promise of integrity, competence, and a government that loves its people more than it loves itself. A government that loves its people more than it loves itself. The time for empty rhetoric is over. The time for action is now. The time for Liberia to rise is now. I thank you. God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
So that was Alexander Cummings. Um, Alexander Cummings, the leader for the national, what do you call it? I'm sorry, Alternative National Congress. Okay, the ANC, speaking, former CEO of Coca-Cola, Fortune 500 company, over $700 billion worth that he managed, created, added value to the company, and still makes money today. He had a brand and other brand added to it, the other product line added to it. He has successfully managed the first 10 institution that he built in Liberia. Yes, people will say he did not build it. Yes, he did. When he was retiring from the organization, they asked him what he wanted in his honor. In his honor, he asked that the school be built. The first that is really far-sighted because we were not big into technology then in 2015, 2016. People were condemning people for going to school online. And a lot more stuff you know who are. And this man was thinking in the future. He said we'll support people who are into STEM, people in science, okay, technology, engineering, and math. So he supports a lot of people into medicine, into engineering. And you think about it, all right? That's far-sighted. Confucius says, if you want to, if you have a plan that is for a year, plant rice. But if you have a plan for about 10 years, plant tree. But if you have a plan for 100 years, invest in the children, educate the population. There he is. Steve is here. Educate the population, right? So Steve is here. Hopefully when he was driving, he listened to Alexander Cummings this morning. I want us to look at that. Then I want us to look at, we're going to take the next 30 minutes because I don't want it to stay too long. Okay. And I want us to, where's Steve? Are you there, Steve?
Yeah.
But okay, hold on, let me see. Yeah, you are. Your camera is kind of blurry. You might want to clean it a little bit because you look like you're in two mirrors.
Okay, here on 1 second.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me go. Can you put me in the back? Let me do it real quick.
Yeah, I can take you out.
Please.
I mean, just make myself big. Okay, here you go. When you're ready, then we'll just pop you back. Yeah. Okay, so for me, here's what is good. And I've been listening to a lot of the oppositions who come with a lot of knowledge. I've listened to Chairman Gonklo, who, when he's talking, people are insulting and telling you, you'll be poor forever because he's telling you what needs to happen. And then I listened to Samuel Freeman about the budget. And today I'm listening to Alexander Cummings, and he's not only talking. We have to open our mind and open our hearts, okay? And this is about us. Not only did he tell us what he thought was not gelling or was not working, he proffered solutions. How do we fix that? What is the need that is present in the country? Let me bring Steve on. He's ready. Okay. So, Steve, what I'm going to start with, because this is, yeah, it's better. What I'm going to start with you at this point is.
Hold on. The thing is not charging. I'm waiting to go off. 1 second. I'll turn my camera off in a second. Hold on.
So I'm gonna be talking. Okay, you're good? Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's okay because I wanted to play a part of Amara Conan's analysis, but I'm gonna start with let's start with Pape Boaka. Okay. And this is if all of you can remember, sometime late last year, when Alexander Cummings had that interview on Spoon about nothing has not changed. People are still looking for jobs. The young people who are majority of the population cannot find, they don't know where the next meal will come from. They can't find a way. They're graduating in droves and here. And then the president had a cabinet meeting where it literally went off on the cabinet and said, if we do not find job for these young people, they're going to run us out. We will have a problem because that's where we came to power. Fast forward less than 9 months later, this president is telling us that they created 70,000. I mean, there are a lot of pressing issues that he talked about. They created 70,000 jobs. Okay. Now, not only that, there's two things that when you talk about concurrently, you can move from one to another. The job issue, and then the building in Foya, for which he said in an interview that he had no idea how it was going on. people decided that, and they told him he was going to be mad. It first started in the circle of his people, who they said it was the Mano River Union. When we came back now, he's telling us he's the one that's building it. That 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 violates the Constitution. Is that not the same thing we were so adamant about George Weah and his people on? It it violates the Constitution. There is a process, okay? If you want to do something like that, you cannot unilaterally take the nation money and invest it the way you want to. You are not the law and gospel. That's what three branches of government. So I want us to you own up to that. So let's talk about the jobs. How possible is that? It's in 1999 we have not increased our job, even with the United Nations in the country. Okay, whereas USAID, you say just withdraw, okay, and you just spend what over 100 million each year in our economy. So I like to know from you what your thought, and I'm just going to listen to you.
Well, let me start off first by greeting our people.
Please do.
I know many of you have been reaching out. Happy New Year again.
Mhm.
I'm grateful to be here today. Feels good to be back on the cameras. We have a lot to talk. We have a lot to discuss. We have a lot to unpack. As always, the Liberian people are the most important people on earth. And the Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. Very interesting things going on. In fact, before President Joseph Boakai could speak, we are on record of writing on our personal page that Joseph Boakai's speech can be categorized in 3 different forms. 1, he will lie. 2, he was going to make promises. And 3, he was going to make blings. And any one of you who listened to him, his speech fell in those 3 categories. But I'd like to see some things that maybe some of you might not gather from the background. Some of the things that you saw on camera, but something that they're doing and they continue to do, which is interesting. One of the things I thought was embarrassing, first of all, is Joseph Boakai to be asking the security guards if he should tell the people to sit down. Something is not right. Something is not right.
I don't think he knew where he was.
Something is not right, to be quite honest. For Joseph Boakai, the sitting president, to be telling the people, to sit down, asking for permission to tell the people to sit down. But some of you will overlook it. But another interesting part that I took from there also is those of you who support Joseph Boakai in the government. I see some of you celebrating Joseph Boakai standing up for 1 hour and change to give a speech. How is that an accomplishment? Isn't that what he's supposed to be doing? It's like seditious praying that Joe Weah don't misspeak or don't chop or don't. I just don't get it. I thought you guys are supposed to be the. I don't understand. I'm trying to make sense of it, but these are some of the things that are ununderstandable. But let me tell you the reason why they made his speech long. Most of the time, they will make Joseph Boakai's speech long. First of all, they are aware that, no disrespect to most Liberian people, that we have short attention span.
Correct.
And so you will get bored easily. So they make the speeches long so that you can forget. You get bored and so forth. That's part of it. Secondly, they're punishing Joseph Boakai unknowingly. Thirdly, they're also telling you that they don't know what they are doing. You think writing a long speech or talking plenty makes you intellectual, or it makes people to understand what you're saying, or it provide no. When you know what you are doing, you are concise, you are to the point, you don't bore people, you get to the issue, the nitty-gritty of it, you address the issue and you move on.
Right.
Simple. You saw it in the speech of Mr. Alexander Cummings. Because this is his area, this is what he knows how to do best. This is what he's on the record. It took Alexander Cummings, I think, maybe 19, 20 minutes. That's it. All the other one in the year talking about commentary. 19, 20 minutes to provide solutions, to identify the problems, and move on. That's what you do. Because people don't have the luxury of time to sit down and read 1 hour and change speech. It doesn't make any sense. It does not. In most cases, even if you are talking something important, it will get lost because the speech is too long. Let's be honest. And so these are some of the things that are behind the scene. But, let me say this. Let me be honest. Let me say this. I know people got choice of words that they can use. Me, I don't choose to be politically correct. I don't ever think I would choose to be politically correct. I do not want to be politically correct. So I say as it is. Joseph Boakai is a certified bona fide liar, and he will never change. He is a liar. Nobody should blame the speech writers. Nobody should do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Joseph Boakai had the opportunity to review this speech more than once.
Right.
He saw this speech. Now, if you tell me that Joseph Boakai did not see this speech and they just handed it to him, not seen there to read it, then something is seriously wrong with Joseph Boakai. Then we got a bigger problem.
Right.
So Joseph Boakai rehearsed this speech. Joseph Boakai read over it. Joseph Boakai was taught, was encouraged, was coached. I see some of the guys who they pay in Liberia and other places that on government payroll talking about, the speech was leaked, whatever it is. What does it matter whether the speech was leaked or not? What important? Anything changes that? Anything change?
The thing is,
The speech is not top secret.
The speech of the president, let me come here a little bit. The speech of the president, sometime night before, day before, that speech is passed on to the press, okay, for analyzing. It's passed on to the press and they keep it on the cover, and even to the legislature. So you're going to read it, even if you read it. Just like me, when I go out to give speeches, no, I'm not president, I'm not, but I've been president for my community before. When people invite me over, whoever is the head of that particular organization, I give them a copy of my speech the moment I walk in or before I walk in, 24 hours before or a few hours before my speech. It's supposed to leak. You're talking to the Liberian people.
Exactly.
Besides, what you're saying what you're done for the Liberian people. So there should not be anything hidden there. It's for us. You work for us. We hire you to do a piece of job. So that's what we're thinking about. Go ahead and see if
I don't understand. I don't understand. Why should it be, even if that was the case, so what? Ain't for the Liberian people. So, those are just the beginning of it. Let me say this. Let me say this to you. I don't even understand why people are wasting the time. The Unity Party and Joseph Yuma Boakai, they're as useless as it gets. In fact, it will get worse. Let me just announce it to you. It will get worse. These guys are shameless. They got nothing to offer. They bring nothing to the table. They got nothing to offer, folks. Don't waste your time behind these people. These people are not going anywhere. They bring nothing to the table. They're shameless, disgraceful. And I don't understand. What do you expect? Now, here's the interesting part. I saw the same behavior with CDC. Instead of saying, maybe the thing that Mr. Cummings said or other leaders are saying, they will look into it and take the sense from it. They're passing around trying to defend it.
Yes.
Passing around trying to fight. Y'all complain that oppositions don't suggest anything. You just criticize whatever. Okay. They offer solution again. Then you're vexed.
Yes.
Then you're cussing. You're taking the personal. You're attacking. So, okay, which one you want? Because I saw the same behavior in CDC.
I was about to speak on that. Yeah.
When you were trying to provide any kind of remedies, solutions, I don't understand. They get vexed. CDC to do the same thing. So this is to tell you, these are people that don't want to learn. Let me say this, and the only reason why you see them acting that way is because they don't know it. So even if you were to teach them, they will not be able to do it. It's not there. That's not what they can do. Now, if you were to tell me to put them on stealing, being crooks and liars, they don't need license for those things. They don't need people to teach them. They don't need people to encourage them on those things. So those are the kind of things they know. But when it comes to doing a job to deliver, they don't know it. So when you provide solution and remedy to them, they see it, they take it offensive. They take it personal instead of learning from it. So this is where we are. This is where we are. We saw the same picture with CDC. We are seeing it with the Unity Party because they got nothing to offer. And even if you were to teach them, let me say this, man. Even if you were to teach these guys, you were to bring it to them and then give it to them, they will still not. You bring million. Look, let me say it today. You get Unity Party government, $5 billion, they will not develop abroad. Their focus is on stealing. I don't care how much resources you pull into them. They are focused on stealing and embezzlement. Stealing, 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 and stealing. That's all they know. So at the end of the day, it does not matter how much money comes in. They don't know what to do with it to benefit the lives of the people. Imagine people who come in with a mindset to steal. They move one group of rogues to position themselves to steal. So you think you can help them? Let me say it today again. I don't care how much money you pour into the Unity Party. They have one mindset. That is to steal, enrich themselves, and secure their future. That's it. They're not interested in doing what is right. They're not interested in doing what is right. So let's start wasting our time. In fact, let me say this just to close up on Jose Human Boakai. To tell you that these people don't love the Liberian people. In hard times where the world is crying, everybody, even in America, the place is hard. In hard times, you think about this, oh. Instead of your government presenting or document or the realistic facts that are on the ground, wherein our people are suffering and hungry, schools are being renovated and painted by students.
Yes.
Instead of sending a message to the world so that the world can come to the aid of our people, you telling the world, say, you are doing so good. You're even better than the United States of America and other people who want to help you. So who coming to invest in Labrador? If Labrador GDP is so good and everything is so good, who in the South to do that? So the strategy is wrong.
So let's go back a little bit. Okay, we are no John Mahama, that's for sure. I'm learning to respect him. This man took over last year. When he took over, he said, this is the layout of what we're going to do in the first 90 days. At the end of the 90 days, he came, he made a report to the Ghanaian people. Every month since after that, he had made a report every month where they are, the little progress they've made. And we saw him at the United Nations, where he chronicled all the steps they're taking, why people should come to Ghana, why businesses should invest in Ghana. He outlined what they're working on in respect to power grill, increasing the power and even distributing power or selling power to the nearby country. Okay, how they reduce the inflation, how they did that. And in fact, when Yusuf withdrawal or Donald Trump decided that the cutting of USAID aid to Africa, he did a podcast, did an interview, like had a whole conference and told the Ghanaian people. He said the Ghanaian people usually take the blunt of the problem. We are not going to do that. The big people are not going to do that. In fact, the first thing he did, he reduced some of the agency. I think he took away 3. He cut it down 3 and combined the other to function and find some of the best minds that he could find to lead those efforts and bring in young people that would be trained, like require skill transfer of knowledge. He did that. And not only that, when all of our people, including our people, went to Japan, he took time himself to up there and chronicle where they are, the gains they've made, the challenges that they have, what is being done to surmount those challenges. He talked about those. From there, the leader of Singapore sent him an invitation to go to Singapore. While he was there, they offered him billions. In fact, they're building a smart city in Ghana. They were building a university in Ghana, a STEM university in Ghana, based on the work that he did in 9, or he and his team did in 9 months. Now, let me ask you this: when you rescue Mo, when you rescue, okay, the first thing that you're supposed to release when you rescue, then you got to do the recovery process. Okay, after recovery process, then you refund. Are we rescued yet? Before we can talk about reforming, because we're not. Have we? Does it look that we are there?
Well, to answer your question, I will answer your question with one simple question to the Liberian people. Part of the rescue agenda, they talk anything about building housing for you? They talk anything about buying the president 1.5 million car?
No.
They talk anything about replacing people who had tenure positions with partisans? Is there anything about replacing the bank governors? Did they? No. So the people think what they wrote, what they copy and paste from somewhere with no idea. They got no ideas. They got no ideas. Let me say this: they got no ideas. That's why they are running helter scatter. They're all over the place trying to claim. Imagine an entire government telling you say their own employment data, the job that they say they provided to Liberian people. Now, Asalamita hiring people. What a joke.
So,
You know, it's not there. So, to be very honest with you, I don't even want to discuss the rescue thing because it's not even possible. It's not even possible.
okay.
The people are suffering from identity crisis. They're not even able to identify with their own rescue thing that they brought. Their own plane, what they brought. They can't even identify with it to stick with it. So where are we? The people who can rescue you are lost themselves. They lost in corruption and stealings. So I mean, no.
So then let's look at it this way. Now, where so let's come from you from your vantage point, okay? Because I'm looking at this, it's really, really depressing, okay? It will also make our people very skeptical when people claim that they have knowledge or they have experience, because most of our people cannot differentiate. You can be a part of a culture, you can be part of a workforce and not be productive, especially where people are not accountable, especially where people do not get let's say for instance, the last time that the speaker asked for auditing the legislature, what did it bring? It brought people together, a coup d'etat per se, to move the speaker. And another thing is when Musa spoke, all right, Musa business was threatened that they would take his oil farm or his tank farm. Now, since he's not talking about that, we are quiet. How do we move Liberia forward? Y'all, everybody here, let's take part. We want to hear from you, Mr. Peabody, Brother King, Sis Nora, Sis Orita. We want to see your suggestion as to how do we move Liberia forward. Sis Glendy, Sis Catherine, Ezekiel, okay? Let's talk about that. How do we move the Ifron? Yes, these are young people all the way left the country. Let's talk about that. How do we move Liberia forward? What is it? How do we do it?
Well, the issue of moving Liberia forward is very simple. It is very, very simple. Get the right leaders that can help Liberians get to work. Let me say this. If you put Liberians to work, Liberians will not care about politics.
Yes.
We are not lacking politicians. We're not. We're lacking people who have proven record of doing certain things and are in a position to do it. That's it. That's it. So all this other extra thing that what we're doing, all the going back and forth and getting, I would say, hard time or whatever it is. Look, let me just be honest. If y'all want, let me try it. Let me try it. Me, I've always said it, I will always say it. I'm not here. I'm not here to go around. But if you choose, me, I can support people. If you choose to be stupid, I will support you. You choose to do the right thing, I will also support you. So I want to say to the Liberian people again, if you let her try, you'll bring job, we are buying for another 6 years. In fact, it will be worse. Oh, me, that the kind of person I am. Oh, I believe in work, reward, and consequences. That's the kind of person I am. I don't work around myself. I don't waste my time. I don't have no time to be fooling around. You want to fool around, and you think you can fool around. Please, we told the people in America, do not elect Donald Trump. You saw how he behaved the very first time. Even to remove him from power when he lost the elections. He went as far as asking people to get rid of his own vice president because he wanted to stay in power. And when you brought Donald Trump in power again, and Donald Trump is creating a bunch of problems in the country, and you get very so, my God, pray to God. What kind of God you're praying to? He's a confused God then. Because the same God who told you might elect Donald Trump. Oh, you go pray to that same God again and say, now you tell what's going on. So the same thing with Liberian people. You saw how Joe didn't let the country. When we thought, he said, oh, CDC might come back to power. You think he's scaring me? You really think so? You really think so? You're making me vet? You're not making me vet. You're making yourself vest. You'll bring Joe back to power. It will be worse than it was before. Because at that point, it will be emboldened. In fact, CDCs know how to steal. They see we had Unity Party. After 12 years, got inside, they grew in the criminality and the ineptitude and incompetence because almost all of them that were working in the government, when after the government left, none of them tried to look for serious money job that would do to enhance their skill. They were sitting in America and other places, taking money from government officials. Some of them, doing funny, shady deal till they get in power because they never prepared themselves for today. They never prepared themselves for the future. Guess what? That's what we are stuck with. We're stuck with another bunch of bandits and criminals and liars. And the chief criminal, Joseph Boakai, want to say people get there. I don't care if you get there with me or not. That's not my issue. The issue is I will never stop calling Joseph Boakai a liar or criminal and a rogue until he stops. So that one is simple. It may you vet, do what you want to do. It is what it is. I'm not going to change.
All right, Steve, let me, and those of you who are here, you know, this platform is new. It's new, but it's old. You know, our platform was shut down many times, so we're rebuilding. While you are here, we may not have everybody on here. I mean, the old platform is like 700,000+ people, but this one we don't. So we need you to invite other people and ask them to please like, follow, and share, so we can all build the platform together. Okay. Now, I'd like to play this defend today. And I'm sure that you're going to say what you're saying more, but I want the people to hear their explanation. You see, those who write policies or processes, and then when they use words, they put in definition of words, right? In the United States, as I understand it, when we say short term, midterm, and long term, okay, the definition for that, all right, anything a year plus, it's a long term for me. In the English that I learned here, or in business school when I went to business school, or in a process where I teach children. Okay, anything below that 1 year is it's a short term. Okay, so I want to understand when people say short term, long term, what are they talking about? Because the last I checked, they gather a group of young people, high school kids, and they said they were giving a vacation job, or 10,000 or 20,000 of them, and that job was for a week each. Is that the employment we're talking about? Because I want the definition. In that, I'm able to address that concretely. Okay, but you can throw a vague word out there because my definition of long term or short term may be different. Catherine is here; she's a lawyer. Okay, and all of us at some point or another, we're reading policies in our various work. All right. Steve, LOL. And when I was talking to people, I told, good evening, Justina. I told people before, I know Joseph Boaka. Me and Joseph Boaka picture all over the place. Some of you just coming, you're new. You're maybe from Lofa, you're the same tribe, or you're in the same political party. You know, my brother was one of the, in fact, what's the, what do you call it, advisor to the president and to the vice president. My brother was like a son to Joseph Boaka. In fact, I entertained Boaka many times in Georgia, hosted him, stayed dinner for him, pick him up from the airport, from the ramp particularly. My former sister-in-law was the one who husband was the what do you call it, the sheriff here who would provide security detail for him. A lot of you don't know that. And during the campaign, they reach out to me. Yeah, you don't have to say anything. Any job you want, you can have, because, you know, we know you're qualified. You're one of the educated Liberian women, especially, and they will pull it off. But I'm not about the job and about the country. I'm about the next generation. I'm about empowering young people, pushing our country forward. I want all of you to listen and make your decision, okay? And I want to hear from you. Thursday night when we come on, CM, I will come on together. We're going to put in things that we want you to rate this government. I don't like when people, especially educated people who got big platform, come and say, grade the president or grade this person. What are you grading them on? Especially if you live in the United States. Do people just get you something to grade? Are there not criteria? Okay? When you go vote, what do you vote on? When you write tests, what do you write it on? Do you just give numbers out? What are our issues that we are looking to improve? That's what the voting should be based on.
But what grade do they want? Because here is the truth. Naimo, who's responsible in Liberia to do Naimo and Front Page Africa, who do most of the gradings? They've been doing it for years. They're credible, you know, international standards and all of that. Kimba and say Joseph Yuma Boaga government out of 100 scores 0.08% out of 100 in 2 years of their own project. So what they were supposed to be grading, like you said, and they provided all of the rubrics. They provided all of the areas, the categories, or whatever it is. So what is it that we should be grading? But quickly before I proceed, I wanted to recognize, you know, a very good friend, a brother, you know, Josh, Dr. Josh Toto. You know,
let George leave me alone today, man.
I called you the other time because I wanted to talk, or we'll talk behind the scene here about something.
That my first mate from you now.
So the truth of the matter is these things have been graded. You know, there's no need to waste our time for individual grading or whatever it is. The issue of grading here has nothing to do with partisanship or because you support the government or whatever it is. So it has to do with the facts. And the facts here are, you know, our people are hungry. That is the fact. Our people are hungry. The fact here is the government did not create 700,000 jobs or 7,000 jobs. 70,000 jobs. That's not true. That is not true. I listen to.
I want the other people to listen along, and I want you to analyze that really quickly. Please.
It was embarrassing.
Okay, let's go ahead, folks. You're listening up.
These companies in 2025, that's 5,599 jobs. So just across these companies in 2025, that's 5,599 jobs. 5,599. And these are long-term jobs. Now, if you say we are lying, bring alternative data.
No, we need. Hold on, sir.
This is from Ministry of Labor, for example.
Okay, but I'm talking about.
That's from Ministry of Labor.
So this one is total number of Liberian employees in the private sector between the periods 2023, 2024, and 2025.
You see 2025 at the end.
Yeah, I see total new jobs created during the period January to June 2025. 5,599. So this is is there no available data for the total 70,000 plus jobs from the Ministry of Labor?
There is. Now again, right?
Where is
the World Development Index has been tracking job in this country, job creation, short, medium term, long term job since 2005.
Okay.
Since 2005, the data is there, and on the average, Oh, you saw it. You disagree with him?
No, but then okay, so it says it says 2023 75,288 jobs are created. 2022 104,156. 2021 76,872.
The 2025 bits
No,
of book,
in there, I'm saying 2025.
maybe they print up I left it off.
So
But
you
is
see-
there
so you never brought CDC in. It's like you are jetting me about CDC. You can't bring something that helps CDC.
no, it starts from 2025. No, what for 2005.
Hey,
So Julius,
wait, show the thing.
so Julius,
Wait, no, I'm saying
so just across these companies in 2025, that's 5,519.
It's just repeating itself. It's just repeating. Steve, go ahead.
Well,
That
first
is so
of all,
embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
first of all,
That is embarrassing.
first of all, Mo Ali is known for putting himself in a situation that he can't handle.
You can't handle. Yes.
So, to be very honest, I don't, the Mo Ali, the
You
what
have
other,
no credibility.
the Mo Ali, the Patrick Honda, all these guys, they got people who got credibility problems, people who behave funny, people who engage into funny activities, or Mo Ali who goes and stay in court, takes the Bible in case they say that he's not Christian, he's not Muslim. The next day the Muslim people breaking their fast and go collect me from it. That I want to take serious. I'm supposed to sit and take serious. I don't take that joker seriously. No, I don't. No disrespect to him. He is what he is who he is to Unity Party and other people who think that he's a serious minded man. But he is not a serious minded man. So I don't waste my time on these kind of people who engage in public shame and embarrass themselves for no reason. No, I'm not going to dignify Mo Ali because he doesn't even know what he's talking. He does not know what he's talking. So I don't want to waste my time with him. He has no clues. How the hell in the world can you tell people say you can't make your claim? You're not providing information or data to substantiate your claim. But you say the people might go bring alternative data. What sense does that make? Who
The
does that?
arrogance, the disrespect for the people of Liberia. It's
Well,
just beyond belief.
These people are not serious group of people. So I'm not, to be very honest with you, I don't want to waste my time with these kind of guys. But the bottom line here is the Unity Party, Joseph Yohan Boyka, like we said, these guys don't have it. They will not have it even if you get them 100 years. No disrespect. The same thing with George Weah. George Weah does not have it. That's not the area. That's not what they can do. That's why I said the other time. That's not what they can do. Everybody was born for something that they can do. Everybody went to school for some kind of profession or something that you're supposed to know that you're good at. And then if that's not the area that you're good at, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't act like you're good in the area or you pretend like you're good in the area. So, I mean, this is what we're faced with. This is the reality. Alexander Kaminsky, I listen to him. When someone try to point out some of these factual things, like the fact that Alexander Kaminsky even talk about the decentralization, how the local government, the government should be felt locally to our people to empower the leaders in the different communities and counties or whatever, so that they can feel the presence of the government. Do you understand what that means? Joseph Boyka, they don't understand nothing. They don't understand nothing. They don't. Jeremiah Kun, they don't understand nothing. Imagine somebody, so they're limited. They're myopic. Sorry to say. Joseph Boyka is myopic. No vision. Hey, look, let me say it again. No swear behind la, bro. I don't care how much you support Joseph Boyka, how much you think you love Joseph Boyka, you care about Unity Party or whatever it is. My friend, nothing will change in Liberia. Let me say, nothing will change in Liberia. It's not a curse. We're not wishing bad on the country. We don't hate our country. These are just facts and realities. And until you can come to terms with them, we are here. We ain't going nowhere somehow. And we predicted that Joseph Boyka was going to be a flop. And we're seeing it today. And we're seeing Joseph Boyka being a flop. Y'all seen it? And I said somehow, we're one of the very first group of people that came out and called Joseph Boyka. Some of us openly, we said Joseph Boyka was a crook. Y'all say, oh, you cursed the man. You cursed the pape. And you insulted the pape. Well, what did the pape not do? Ain't not prove that he's crook? Ain't prove that he's a liar? Okay, what else I want again? What else I want? Liberia will not move anywhere with Joseph Boyka and John Weah leading Liberia. If you think a joke, try it. Bring we are back. We'll be ready again. Thank God some of our age in our favor. We young, so we can say certain things. And we can say that we watch.
Okay, Steve, I don't have age in my favor.
No, you do, my old man. What you do? You super.
I mean, let's go. We're gonna, and Steve, I mean, I know you're coming, but Thursday I want you to listen to Amara Corner. I want you to listen to Tawan Gonklo interview and Musa Beledi. I'm looking forward to listen to Samuel Freeman. And then we can come here and compare notes. You know, I stop commenting on the other people posts, because if I comment other people posts, the very people who used to sit on this platform, I used to have, before even the Henry Costa came, we gave him what do you call it, permanence on this platform. This platform, I mean, they took that one down, but the particular name was the one who raised that $24,000 in 24 hours here, right here, okay? UP people, all of them used to be, and I'm hearing them now insulting me. Any post I go on, so I try to post on my wall, so when they come under there, you insult, I delete it. I'm not going to go and make a post on it, because if I try to answer to other people, whether it's concrete, whether it makes sense, they're rude. CDC, I can forgive. But these are people who have been in power before. Okay? These are people that have been in power before. And we told them before. I told them, because I have my own experience with Joseph Boakai. Boakai office tried to steal money from my brother. When people tried to, he pretended that he didn't know. Until my brother went and wrote in their perspective what was happening and told them the people money would be sent back if they didn't release it. Ellen came from a room to get involved for them to release that money. They refused, and he knew about it and other issues. But I'm going to leave it at that. So when I was telling you guys, for me, the Lord that broke the camel back, somebody would say you supported him in 2017. I did. Okay? Because sometimes people, I heard what my brother said, right? Until the old man show up in court and put his hand on the Bible. Y'all know us African people and our old people business. You know, everybody not Steve to just say it as it is. And when I saw what he did to Alexander Cummings, knowing, I know Cummings said their friend, Cummings have always cleaned him, because Cummings will go and pick him up from the airport. Cummings will support him in his endeavor. Cummings will support them when they were in power and they needed people who had character name for Liberia to be forgiving, and did it for Liberia. That's his friend. That's his childhood friend. But he did not remember him when he wanted to be president. Although after the 2017 election, he was nowhere to be found. He did not have it. He was the same when I reached out to Cummings and said, listen, I'm old now. I have lived my life. I have enough money to live for. We want you to come. We believe you can change this country. And I knew that they had planned for him. Anyway, he took the bait. But I wanted to read this, then we can take the next 5 minutes to close. If you don't mind. This is Taiwan. Yes.
Go ahead.
This is Taiwan where, so it's not me and my son who talking. Ta is part of the legislature. I call Ta GB Tobogi. His mother from Lofa County, his father is from Nema County. He is our representative in district, I think district 9. So let me read it. Yesterday, I wrote, the president made a lot of claims in his SONA. The SONA speech that are factually untrue. The speech writer lied and implicated the president. I know Steve have a different stand on that. You know, that's the moving the goalpost for the person who we elected to do the job. So I'm saying the president, not the speech writer. The president read that speech, that was his duty, to go through it to make sure that that particular speech was exactly what it's supposed to be to the Liberian people. It was factual. So let's continue. As many people know, I have always tried to be fair, objective, and data-driven in how I critique government, especially now that I am a part of it. I do not believe in opposition for opposition's sake. I believe in truth, accountability, and integrity. Unfortunately, the SONA was packed with claims that were simply not true, not opinions, not politics, facts. Example, the president referred to the last year arson attack on the Capitol Hill, that the attack happened in 2024, not 2025. When the national address state with a basic factual error, it immediately raises questions about everything else. And it does not stop there. The speech included inflated number, wrong timeline, unsupported statistics, and math that does not add up across roads, avenue, jobs, food security, transit, and the economy. I have shared few images breaking this down clearly. What was said and why it factually untrue based on official records and public data. As someone who has worked on research and data across 30 African countries, data integrity matter to me. Okay, you cannot govern and build trust on distorted facts. Let me be clear. I support the arrest agenda and moving Liberia forward, but support does not mean silence when the facts are wrong. Yesterday's speech grossly overstated reality. However, whoever wrote the speech failed the president. Liberia deserves honesty, especially in the state of the nation. See, I'm going to let you close with all of this. Folks,
Well,
please, the number is up here. Whenever you want to add your voice, please do call.
I know Ty is your brother, but Ty is not a sincere man. He's not a sincere man. Let me say again, Ty Wongwe is not a sincere man. He's not serious. He is not a serious-minded man. I'll say again,
Why you say
Ty
that?
Wongwe is not a serious-minded man. He is not. You know, the reason I say that is because, look, if you want to say the truth, you say the truth. You can't be saying the truth and you be saying half truth. The speech writer is not to be blamed.
Okay.
Unless Ty is trying to indirectly insult Joseph Boakai, intelligence. He can say, hey, he can say Joseph Boakai, I don't know what he's doing, confused. He can say that. There's nothing wrong with that. He's a certain lawmaker.
Maybe that's the undercurrent.
Well, if that's the undercurrent, let him mail. Let him mail up and say it. He not meant to say it. I don't want to say it. I challenge that one, but he not meant to say it. Because you know what? He doesn't want to say the truth. And he knows the truth. He tell one way. That the speech writer was reading. We heard it from the speech writer more than what we heard. The thing what the word heard. That speech writer more they heard from. Or that Joseph Boakai more they heard from. Joseph Boakai lie. You stop going around the thing here. You stop all this trying to be politically correct, trying to be intellectual, trying to make everything look fun. There's nothing here that look fun. It's ugly, it's bad for us. Oh, you support the arrest agenda? Which arrest agenda that one way? Show me the arrest agenda that Joseph Boakai carry on. Their own arrest agenda, what they brought, they are unable to stick with it. They're bouncing around like a ganga ball, and you tell me you support arrest agenda. You are not a serious man that one way, but I'm waiting. I will get it that one way. I will bring a secret in us. Watch and see. That one way. I will expose that one way.
What my brother not do to you?
Relax. Ain't support arrest agenda. We're supporting too. You see nothing here. I've been quiet on him because certain people, but with that one way, I'll bring that one way. That one way is a bona fide crook. He's not a serious man. But I will deal with him. I come back on SK TV. I won't be on the radio when I'm dealing with that one way. I want for the Labran Polo, when I bring a secret also. That joke, what they offer. He tell anybody offer that joke. Sometimes you just shut I think and nothing to say. This is not a joking matter. That's serious thing we're talking. I'm not joking thing we're talking. You get American lying in public to the Liberian people, to the world. And you sit down and say you support a resident general, you serious minded man. You serious minded man. Anybody's gonna tell you serious time one way. You're not ready. But don't worry, I got you. Relax. I'll be back on SK TV next month officially. One, I'll bring. I don't even want to say. Relax. We yeah.
And make sure when you come back, we keep our Thursday night over here. Yes, sir. That's all I need.
I'll be there Thursday. I'll be there.
Yeah, okay. So
Thursday,
go ahead and land.
So my Oma, I think these are part of the problems we have.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing we did with George Weah. When George Weah does something that is wrong, we try to circumvent and blame people around him. When these are all grown men that do these wrong things, let's stop that. It starts with all holding these people accountable and let them take responsibility. Look, you are not disrespectful when you say the president lied. No, you are not. If you say the president wrong, he wrong. You're not disrespectful. It doesn't mean that you don't respect the presidency. So let's stop this. We did the same thing with Joe Weah. Joe Weah can do runs. Oh, that Nathaniel Market, the people around the man fooling the man. That Liberian mentality, where we refuse to hold people accountable for what they've done. And these people are supposed to be leaders. These people are supposed to be leaders. You think that Joe Weah wants to all the money in Liberia? No. But the people that he appointed. So saying he has the power to appoint people. He has the authority. And he decides to go and appoint rogues, thieves, and criminals. Guess what? He takes that responsibility because he brought them there. So we're supposed to be serious. So the time one way there, the whoever there or whatever it is, they just need to be serious. You want criticize Joseph Boga, you're not that. That one way just met with Joseph Boga a few days ago. That one way. No, we don't want to talk on deep in here. Because we'll start to discuss on thing here, it will bring noise in the town. It will bring some serious noise in the town. So that one no go rest the body. Yeah, you know go realize he everybody. He problem too much. He knows too much. You need to go rest the body. He not plenty. He knows plenty. I'm telling you today, that one way not plenty. That one way knows plenty, my Oma. I that one way there, he not plenty.
Okay, well, he's a politician, is your lawmaker. I'm not sure what the issues are, but I
No,
will
not anymore. He your lawmaker. Now your lawmaker that you have anymore.
well, that's my brother. So that's one side of that. We will because I don't know what you're talking about. So I
My
can't
uncle,
say
I would deal with my uncle. That my man, bro. I would that family belly living. Yeah, that family belly. We're facing the
I will call you, Steve.
We'll swallow GB on it. Yeah, leave it. Yeah, but Oma. So truly speaking, President disappointed us. I really, in all sincerity, this was an perfect opportunity for Joseph Boakai and Unity Party to reset and for once to tell the world, the struggles that our people are facing in the country. Especially with you said and other people leaving, telling the struggle and what you have done to be able to manage. You never know. Instead of, like you said, the president of Ghana, I listened to him a couple of times. He comes and gives periodic updates, some of the things that they've done, or whatever it is to be able to sustain and so forth. And all of that. There are a lot of young people that we speak to that are out of job now because some of them are working with some of the NGOs. But when the NGOs pull out, they ain't got nothing to do again. They have nothing to do. And that in itself is a burden on the government. We understand that. But be humanistic, be transparent. Say the truth. You will not die. It doesn't make you irresponsible when you say the truth. It just means that's the truth. Maybe that's why you need help. Maybe the little investment here and there. I thought you would have used the opportunity to we're talking about deportation. Nothing was said in that speech. People that live in this country that send money back on that help or whatever it is, how are they going to survive? How are they going to do it now? All of these different things. That's how leaders speak. You think about some of these things to be able to incorporate your people, to be able to, even side with people who are in the diaspora that are worried right now about the statuses and other things like that. All of these different things.
I know what, Steve, speaking about that.
Nothing.
I did not hear him to acknowledge the Liberians here.
No, nothing.
And what's going on? I did not hear him talk about the rape epidemic and the sodomy that's going on in the country. I did not hear him talk about the drug epidemic that has plagued the nation and hunting the nation at this point. I did not hear him talk about the hunger that is in the country. All right. But we brought in all of these lies and anticipate in 2026 that we are supposed to just sit and hear, especially when we have 1,200 rape cases. And that's why I say about Liberian people, we took the streets, okay, and demanded that we have come out and speak and declare state of emergency. The UP people, everybody were in it. But today, in 1 year, you have over 4,000 rape cases. Just 2024. We are now out of 2025. Now we get multiple of rape cases and sodomy cases with little boys and grown men with little girls who they and laying down in JFK hospital. And he didn't say anything about that. So then what is the security of the nation? Now, and quickly, and we're going to talk about this on Thursday night. The legislature, they say the budget increase. The legislature increased their own budget over 50 million. Over 50 million. They increased for local LU anyway. And then NSA, another 22, they got to 42 million. So 103 people in the country, they get. Oh, Steve, we'll leave it right here because we'll stay too long. I want the video to be short so you can be able to go around. So, yes.
Thursday will be here by the grace of God.
You closer, send us home.
Thursday will be here by the grace of God. Like we said, we'll not stop having this conversation. I know those of you who have been reaching out to me, you know, I'll be back on SKTV hopefully next month. By the grace of God, I mean, in the next few days here. I've committed to be here on Thursdays. And so I'll be here maybe other days as well, like today. And other days when my woman got a chance, we'll make time to come on. Let me say this. We amplify the conversation this time around. And like I said, I promise the Liberian people, this coming election, I will take us high. And I will not be on the touch. I will take us high. I will support us high. I will announce my sir. Middle and 2027, I will announce my sir. Because by 2028, 2029, I won't be making the case for my sir. And I'm going to say on the touch. Politics and not religion. And I check.
I told you before.
And
no, there's a saying that goes, if you do not take interest in the affairs of your government, you will be led by inferior people who can't even come to your toes, people who don't even. Yes.
I will take us out.
Those are the facts.
CDC been reaching out to me. Announcing CDC been reaching out to me. Me are open to talk to anybody. Even United Parties that reach out to me. Joseph Boaga said, call me today, I'll talk to him. But I told you before, Joe Boaga, my papa. We go a long way, me and Joseph Boaga. Joe Boaga and my papa, we from Lofa together. But you know, when it time come for me to call him, I can call him. You know that one. And I'm going behind him to talk. So that are open to talk. That open season, my woman. From now to the end of 2027, our open season, I will talk to all political parties and political leaders. To be honest, the people that have been reaching out to me the most are CDC. CDC has been on my back. And I won't lie. So we had them been on my back. I would thank them for the resilience and the commitment. Even though I criticize Joe, but CDC been on my back. I won't lie to you. Yo, they've been promising all kind of funny things, but I won't go into that one here. But anyway, folks,
so, darling, that my little brother, but I hear uncle they can talk because I have no idea what he's talking about. I just wanted to read that aloud so people can hear what he wrote. I will more focus on the not telling truth, okay, and he's trying to do the Liberian people talk. That's different. You know me. I'm Steve. Steve is a younger version of me. I am trying to kind of find a fine balance and but still speak my truth. That's what it is. Steve will not be confused. Steve know where side he belong. I see my so you don't worry about it. He know who can change. He knows the thing that we are outline who we think can create job in Liberia, who think we can bring in order. Okay, we know who understand what do you call it the economic worldview that Liberia so need at this point, who have record of producing. So we already know that. You're good night. That's still there for you. You're good night. I will talk to you later. My time now run out. I was supposed to be here for 1 hour. Steve King late, so 1 hour 30 minutes. Everybody, thank you for those of you who tuned in. Please share the video. Again, we're here Thursday night, but in the morning I'm on my page. Okay, just Yasendi, simply Yasendi. I'm on my page for 10 minutes in the morning to just highlight a few things that we're talking about. Today, as I said, I have an opportunity to pick up the phone and call my senator. And the coolest thing is both of the senators that are in my state, I ran campaign for them. I voted for them. In fact, my daughter, who is in college now, was 13 years old the first time we ran the campaign. And I will show some pictures tomorrow. John, ourselves, and Dr. Warner, she took pictures with them. I don't do the pictures thing with big people. And Dr. Warner, when I was president, the community religiously supported me. Okay, he been to Liberia a couple of times, but that's not why I support him. I support him because he stands for the people, because he speaks for the people, because he has stood for the people before and even gone to jail as a pastor. He is the pastor that took over, that is the head of this church that Dr. Martin Luther King used to pastor. So that's our pastor in Georgia, and people reverence him, and he does what he needs to do for the people. He's a son of a free slave, a grandson of a free slave, per se. So he understands the struggle. He been here. So I called him today about the budget with the with ICE. Okay. Let them put in the mechanism, although we need security, but we need security with respect. We need security with restraint. We want security that works within the confines of the law or within the Constitution. Okay. If you never heard this, the reason the 27 grievances that America stated why they needed to part from the crown, that's what they used to call it, King George. All right, that's exactly what is happening today. Thursday, I will start my conversation with it. I think I did my conversation with it this morning so we can know where we are. Good night, everyone. Let me say thank you for those of you who tune in. God bless. Let's ponder over this. Let's call out our leaders. Let's point out what there's wrong, and hopefully they can fix it. They can fix it. We kick them out, and that's what we can do. Kick them out. We'll keep kicking them out until we get the right person. Man say, man, man, a snake does not bend back. That way, when she snake on the road, it's stuck in the road. It have to go all the way around and turn because it is not able to turn around and go this way. You see it stand up this way, but it will not go this way backward. It does not. It have to come around. Okay, so we don't go back. You don't get respect. And once you give a former powerful man a place again, they will not make the same mistake that they made before. So let's keep moving. Good night, everyone.